We, as a responsible political party, are concerned about the proper application of rule of law in this country. But what we are witnessing today is a government's hasty response to some catcalls. Catch him if you can was a catcall by some political elements plus some civil society elements and various other individuals and some YouTubers perhaps. In the area of law enforcement, there are certain rules to be observed. Here I must point out that the current president and the current Minister of Public Security both served with me and some other ministers who had been in the previous government in a anti-corruption task force. Our attitude was to get our law enforcement machinery to unearth proper evidence which will disclose offense or crime, thereafter to initiate action. And subsequently, all of us had to face a special presidential commission for having illegally constituted a task force, including the current president. And that task force was appointed by the very president who is now under assault by this government. At one time, a political friend becomes a political foe. That is part of politics. But then this particular incident, the way in which it has happened, and certain statements that have been made by responsible people before the event, and some irresponsible people before the event, and what has happened ultimately, shows there was a clear intention to humiliate a political personality to get some applause from the gallery. This is how we see it. It could have been done in a different manner. If there was, normally the witnesses have been summoned earlier to the Criminal Investigation Department. The former president was summoned last Friday. If the evidence have been recorded, if the statements have been recorded, and if offense had been discovered to have been committed, there was this option of reporting facts to the magistrate through a B report for the magistrate to summon the president separately, rather than to treat him like a common criminal, arrest him forthwith and produce. This was designed to humiliate him. That is what we are against. We are not against the due process of law being applied to everybody equally. So this issue has to be carefully looked at, and we feel there were other motivations behind this, and we also question. Recently, the Mount Lebanon magistrate had questioned the police for having forwarded an incomplete investigation against the current minister of this government to the Attorney General. A question had been posed to the police. Why did you first complete the investigation and then thereafter seek the Attorney General's advice? Before the investigation had been completed, file has been forwarded to the Attorney General. We are also waiting to see what's going to happen. So, the Attorney General's department is under a careful scrutiny. Even before the Human Rights Commission in Geneva, from 8th onwards, there we are looking. This is why we wanted a Office of Public Prosecutions, separate from the Attorney General, handling these affairs. This has been the cry. Of course, the government says they are going to do it. They have appointed a committee to look into it. But then the manner in which this whole episode had unfolded brings to light the issue that there was a puerile attempt by this government to show their bravado, merely saying that we have got a government mandate to catch thieves. But here, if there was an offence disclosed properly, then there were methodologies to be adopted to, because this is a high-profile case. So you need to, need not bring undue pressure. The way in which this has happened and the manner which shows the pattern of events that happened prior to it and thereafter, we are quite convinced this was designed to humiliate him. And we will carefully follow this, and we will show that the opposition will not lose our resolve. This is also designed to intimidate the opposition. That they would, but it must be the long arm of the law must reach out to everybody equally. That is true. But then basic courtesies that has to be extended, that had been done in previous instances have been flouted here, and we would wish, in fact, I have highlighted this in my speech in Parliament on the very day. Therefore, we would like to once again emphasize that this is, because here Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe has become because they wanted some soft target to show their bravado, and they have looked at an issue which could have easily brought up some applause for them from among the public, whereas these, as far as the word official, as within inverted commas, has to be properly gone into, looking at the entire circumstances of this matter. And this, for all purposes, is designed to intimidate the opposition as well as to humiliate the former president. This is my, what I would say finally in this regard. Thank you.